Unmute me. There we go. Oh, good. Let's get the panzers rolling. I need to pour myself into a drink before I get told off and falling behind in the drinking. You know what? I'll make this like a 4 times drink. This will catch up in one drink. This I really shouldn't have opened that one. Hands of 4, roll. I'm bullying this little Italian tank. Yeah, I didn't see the dirt, so I rolled over the dirt though. Hands are free. I think he panicked over the artillery. Yeah? Come and have a look in a second. Come on. Finish repairing the fucking tank. Roll, 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 roll. Shit. Okay. Hey, Fatherland, how you doing, man? Hey, El, how you doing? Too hot there. It's a bit cold and wet here. We're back in just a minute. Okay, I'm back. I meant to actually ask you something, Phylum. I read something about Ecuador recently. Popped up as a news story. Oh, of course it. That's why if he said it is blooming freezing here. Yeah, something about I want to say prisoners or executions or something. Like, I could be completely off base. It was like a week ago I saw it. Yeah, in jail. You know, I'm just fucking ramming this guy. Fire! I mean, yeah, criminals isn't like the country has lost something. Fair. You guys like the Australia or South America that I'm guessing. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, it's like it's divided by politics. Oh fuck! Like what sort of security crisis? I can't say I know who Medora is. Off the top of my head, at least. I'll take that. That was a good final kill. Been in a security crisis for a couple of years. The peak was an assault on the TV station, but it's weird. Some places are hot spots, like my city. Others are extremely safe. I don't think that's weird. I think that's sort of to be expected. I know that sounds a bit weird, but it depends on, I guess, your local extremism, or a local extremist influence, I guess is probably a good way of putting it. Because if you have like the militant groups of the left or the right in your city, then your city is going to be the more volatile sort of place. I'm gonna have to buy that. I am right wing, but only in economy. Homeland security aside, I support abortion. Yeah, I get that. So you're like a moderate right wing sort of thing, or a liberal nationalist sort of thing. It's possible to be progressive whilst also being like patriotic and stuff. Political systems are designed to be able to try and be flexible with that sort of thing. Well, some more democratic ones, but it depends how many parties are running. You want an extreme one for the number of parties? Look at Germany, they've got like 100 different political parties. Is it Germany I'm thinking of? I think so. I think the intervention of the US isn't the best but necessary at this moment with drug stuff. But big fan of it. But you know, I miss when we were really neutral and indifferent, neither west nor east. I understand that. I can definitely understand it from your point, because obviously you're essentially sat in the middle of the violence. Obviously, between cartels and the government trying to, if it is trying to, hold control over them. Fuck. But I also do think America's intervention there is dangerous, because it also means that because the cartels aren't really like military organizations, it pulls up a lot of questions. Definitely on the side that America's been doing extra judicial executions, especially, which has got an entire movement in the UN right now against the US for the bombing of Venezuelan or supposed drug cartel boats coming out of Venezuela. To the point where even the UK has stopped sharing intel with the US over it. Yeah, I'm tired of being a dispute country between powers. I want more cultural isolationism and border control. I feel everything being oh fuck's sake. Polluted with foreign influence on politics. That's just, it doesn't matter where you sit there. Even if there wasn't social media or the internet, that would happen. Prime example of it, look, the Cold War. Look before the Cold War, you've had British influence being pushed on the entire world as far as 1600s, and then you had counter pushes of that by the French and Spanish, but the British culture more or less won, because even though we're not world police today, it is a former British colony that is America, and the counter to them today is Russia and China. Yeah, but I think that's where it comes down to having traditions and a culture strong enough to negate the worst parts of American society whilst embracing the better parts. Because in all fairness, I think across the board, every country has its upsides and its downsides. Like, the amount of social support, for instance, in China is unparalleled. But at the same time, the amount of state policing and just tracking that happens there is... yeah, I wouldn't want to do it. You sneeze slightly wrong there and you instantly have your... what is it? citizen credit or whatever they've named it reduced, and that affects your ability to take out loans and credit and all sorts. We are partial West Country. When we were Viceroyalty to Viceroyalty, French in the Republic era, and some English and German artists, scientists left their marks here, like Darwin and all these nations were respected, and the country doesn't have cultural resentment towards no one. Yeah. No, I get that. Well, that's good. Like you've had plenty of good sort of influences in that sort of push, but it's. I think this is the issue when it comes to a lot of American countries, really, and is that other than the natives that were there before the Europeans, you've got to rebuild all the your own culture, because you've got European culture and that's it, but you're disconnected from Europe. So unless you're going to reintegrate into the Spanish Empire, you know, you're a bit lost. But there are strong influences, of course. That's why I think so. Fuck's sake! Reading my chat, piss off. By ethnics and other countries are influencing negatively here. Yeah, no, I can understand that. Very few empires, well, I want to say near imperial empires, like America, like Russia, and even China, they do struggle with their own native minorities. That sounds really weird considering. So there's no surprise that when they're influencing other countries, they don't really encourage integration of their ethnic minorities. And I can say that with some certainty, because if you look at, I'll read your reply there in just a second. Like, if you look at Russia, they have, what is it, close to, they have at least like 20 different just 20 different ethnic groups through the country, which are, I think there's way more. I'm reducing it a lot, but a lot of them are just sort of ignored. A lot of them are persecuted, and a good example of that is during the Cold War, I think it was Crimea had its entire population just lifted up and sent off somewhere in Siberia, and then it was all resettled by Russians. And China has their own thing where in the northwest they're like round up all the native Muslims and they're re-educating them and stuff because they don't want, well, officially it doesn't exist, but yeah, Spanish integrated effectively their culture here. We don't dislike them. They bought technology, language, religion, invest in cities like our language. Yeah, but we are just different. I like them as a spiritual familiar culture, but we have our own way. That's it, isn't it? Like, I think that's also something a lot of early empires did to a degree, because even the British, we if we really didn't like a culture, we would have gone to war with them. But we worked with the Indians, we worked with some of the Native Americans, we worked with a lot of the African nations that were about. But at the same time, we did suppress the Scottish, the Welsh, and the Irish. So I guess to a degree, it's you take it and leave it there. And so on that note, actually, I think even Spain struggled with its own internal ethnic minorities because Catalonia, unless this is just a modern thing, Catalonia has always been somewhat neglected from Spanish politics as far as I'm aware. Okay. Do.
We're doing alright. When we are apart, we always do the same dance. Always on the fence, never making sense. I'm not gonna feel a thing tonight. I'm not gonna be the one tonight.
Makes sense. I also hate colonialisation guilt speech because the reason why our countries haven't developed enough with politics of the last decade. Wow, what's been like the focus of the last decade? Has it been just like fuck the old empires that they caused all our issues, sort of thing? Yeah, there was a cultural friction with Spain too, I think, because they got mixed and applied free womb law on slaves did help to alleviate the cultural friction. Yeah, like, unfortunately that sort of stuff happened a fair bit. And there's not too much that can be said about it. Like, I don't think there's a single colonial empire which can say that they're innocent in regards to not leaving a negative mark on their former colonies for one reason or another. It's a difficult one because there's a lot out there of different stuff, and yeah, it's a big area to like hit on because I know, obviously, for yourself, I guess you are right. Spain did contribute, but then also the early days, Spain wiped out a massive chunk of the population. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, where was I? There is no innocent on this, of course. What I'm trying to say is that everyone did it, even pre-colonial tribes. The Incas had oppressed tribes from... Yeah! That's true. That's just true. As the tribes, Spanish got aid of local tribes to vassals of another power that was less oppressive, I think. Is complex, doesn't wash anyone, but yeah, no, to be honest, the best example of that, and obviously I'm not promoting it in the slightest, but like, it wasn't just, even though we did it the best, and that sounds really bad to describe it that way, it wasn't the British that started the slave trade, nor was we the only one doing it. And it's not, we also weren't the only ones, we weren't the ones at all that were going out and rounding up the slaves. We were buying them from African tribes, shipping them over to wherever, using them. But it was the Portuguese and the Spanish that did it first. And that's obviously the modern term of slave trade. Like, you can go back all the way through history and find every single civilization has had some form of it. The earliest I remember is obviously the Greek city-states and Rome. But one thing to remember on that front as well is that Britain wasn't only the first to abolish it, but they were also the first to police against it. Yeah. Yeah, like, it's easy to point a finger and do that there. Oh yeah, 100%. But I also think that's where... Who is it that's done it? I think, is it China? I think has done something which might be pretty genius. Where if you're talking on a subject there, streamers anyways, they have to declare their expertise on it, like, oh yes, I studied this here, there and whatever. And then they also have to cite sources whilst talking about certain things, which I think wouldn't be a bad idea. I think that's a pretty good idea because it stops people from just chatting endless bollocks. But that being said, it turns it from, I guess, like a casual stream like this per se into a full-on proper lecture that needs to have its sources cited and everything. Because I've been talking about everything I'm talking about pretty casually, without any sources really, and I'm no expert in the stuff I'm talking about, but I've studied a bit of history. I've occasionally followed a little bit of politics and stuff. I'm by no means an expert. I just casual observer. Oh fuck. Probably are. What you playing anyways, Fatherland? Out good? Or are you just chilling today? Fuck's sake, how... No, fair. Forgot about that. I try Neverwinter and Vodka Gladius. Ooh, Gladius is a fun one. One second, we're gonna have to tab over to Steam because I don't think I remember Neverwinter. Neverwinter. Oh, it's free. Okay, what's this? Oh, is it an MMO? Ah. A Dungeons and Dragons styled MMO. Okay. Who are you playing in Gladius? Do you have a go-to faction? like the Imperial Guard. Yes, man. Imperial Guard or Mechanic and myself. There's not really anything new going on there. Fuck off. Who got me? Ah, cunts. No, not new. I've been spying I've been looking into a couple games. Like, I like the idea of getting EU5, but that's also just crazy big. Like, also been idly pricing up an upgrade for next year, but then because of the recent news, I'm not sure I'll do it at all next year because, well, I'd be looking at a processor, motherboard, RAM upgrade, and, well, RAM prices is going through the roof because there's a shortage, and there's a shortage on at least two other things, but I don't remember what it is. I remember HDDs being one of them. I like a lot of Astro Militarum, the planet will fall before the guard. Yes, that's quite funny actually, because I remember shortly I got into Hoy and I started getting into Warhammer about the same time, and the entire Cadia break before the guard was a big thing. I think it just happened where Cadia actually broke before the guard. I was playing Russia, I had some expeditionary troops, no, volunteers in Spain, and they ended up getting circled on one of the ports, but we couldn't pull to another port because all the other ports were already taken. And my guys looked like they were about to die, but Spain capitulated right as they hit 0. So for the entire game, the entire template that I was using for the infantry got renamed to the Imperial Guard, and it became a big meme that Spain broke before the guard. Do you have a favourite regiment though? That's a big question. I'm going to park up behind these rocks and then give me a minute because I'm going to quickly run and grab the Mrs. Hess switch because she doesn't remember where it is. Right, I am back. Go on, finally. You had a little laugh at it. What's your favourite regiment if you got one? Fucking not me to fire that. I put what regiment for the Imperial Guard. Between Cadia and... What's your other one? Cadia is a good one, but I also feel like it's a bit of a basic one. I say that whilst also probably having Cadia as one of my top ones. The Death Corps Krieg, ooh, that's a good one. Just the embodiment of World War One. Trench warfare and mass charges. Do it. Why did that not fucking pen? That's a big rock. Just like the one on your finger. Yes. Cadia made real the planet broke before the guard did. Yeah, they did. And that actually makes a really cool sort of you're right. You good there? That actually makes a cool detail in the second Space Marine game, because you can see when you've got true Cadians by their purple eyes, which is probably one of the most known random facts about that game. Well, the Cadian Kazakin, their special forces are also just beasts in their own right. I kind of want to play some Gladius now, or some at Warhammer. Like, Fucking hell. You alright there? Like a lot of things, but honestly, Marines are pussies next to the guard. I noticed you had an intrusive thought. My head sort of felt it. Extra card there, fight knowing they are just disposable. I think both do to a small degree, but the guards do so knowing that their chances of survival are next to nothing, whilst the Marines do it knowing that they will likely live through 100 battles. But I also think that's, yeah, it's depends on how you look at it though, at the same time, I suppose, because I'm not going to say that there's more desertions and stuff in the guard, but because if you look between both, you've probably got about the same. But there's more guard than there is Marines. Because the Imperial Guard is just countless. Trillions die daily. While Space Marines maybe a few hundred die daily. Because there are definitely stories where chapters just sacrifice themselves. A famous example of that is the Astral Monks. In faction, I like Elder, Hot and Cypher stuff. I like the Tau, but they are commies. That they are. Fuck you. If we're saying other than the Imperium, because like I've already said, I'm a big fan of the Mechanicum. Even it's technically not the Imperium. That's a tough one. I'd probably have to go Orcs. And not even just because of the sheer brutishness of them, because the Orcs are quite funny in their... Everything's funny and brutish with them, like the bigger is better, bigger boom, Daka and all that. But it's the potential. Like, if enough Orcs gather together and they remember enough of their genetic history and just pure genetic, the Orcs would become more powerful than Space Marines. Really, first time you see someone pick the Mechanicum. I think it's the pragmatism of it. Like, if they were left to actually innovate and stuff, it's just the cold logic. It's the mass manufacturing. And that sounds really bad, but yeah. Like, praise the Omnicide. like the Eldar resilience on their path. They just become geniuses of what they pick. Yeah, no, I get that. To be fair, like, yeah, they dedicate themselves to one thing in life, but I also think that's a bit of a weird one, because even though I get why they do it, because it's a way of them avoiding excess and avoiding getting screwed over by Slanesh. It's also the Eldar are essentially immortal, so why perfect one thing in a controlled manner when you could dabble, if that makes sense. I think their sharp minds to avoid the chaos is admirable, that the Drakari are also not chaos vulnerable. I feel like the Drakari are extremely chaos vulnerable, but the issue is they hide in the webware to avoid it, because they're like the epitome of excess. Because let's face it, when Drakari are doing stuff, it's all about fucking excessive slavery, excessive sex, and all that shit. They're the old Eldar before the collapse, before the birth of Slanesh. Or maybe I'm wrong with that. Like, I'll let you be the one to decide that one. I can see that. I can see that. They are a bit like cursed vampires, I suppose, from Oblivion. They are still very like dark with it. You know, the Drakari, yeah. Yeah. I think the coolest thing about the Eldar, even though it's a bit hit and miss, is the fact that their craft worlds actually contain, like, in theory, because obviously you need to have collected their soul stone essentially. They actually are spiritually immortal. Somehow, but I don't remember how. I think I probably could actually. I think it's the. I've just got to download the latest version of Minecraft to be able to play with you on your Switch. Which I can do whilst I'm playing this if you want. The torture to rejuvenate themselves, my code. Yeah, they do. Love the grim dark of Elder situation. Yeah. The elves are just funky, is what I'm going to say. They're funky. They're space shamans, but so to speak. The one thing that I think is also a bit weird though, and I don't think the Eldar really ever highlight it, is that the Eldar and the Orcs are essentially not the same, but they're sort of meant to be twin species. Because the Orcs and the Eldar were both made, even the humans actually, by the old ones. Well, actually, humans is maybe we're not too sure about it. By the old ones to fight the Necrons. Yeah, by the old ones, yeah. And well, I guess it wasn't the Orcs; it was the Crocs, I believe they were called. But they devolved into the Orcs. I don't think the tower there. I think that one is a newer species. Oh, I love the Crocs. I low-key want them to come back, but the issue is, like, I don't think there's a WAG big enough for that to happen. Obviously, Gazgul's WAG is potentially close, but yeah. I just like the story where the Crocs in the War of the Beast just stood up to fucking Primarchs. That shit is. Until then, the only thing that actually scared the Primarchs were other Primarchs. Yes and no, I do agree. Like the Necron through sheer power are probably the most strong, but I think that's also a factor of they're a master of the material plane, where every other race, even the Tau, even though the Tau are less so. Oh yeah, and the Tyranids, let's not forget them, are influenced by the war. Yeah. Actually, that being said, even the Tyranids, I guess, do affect the war, because one of their big things is, among their approach to a planet, is they create a psychic null zone which terrifies psychers and stuff. Sort of. Because psychers can still use their powers, they're just not able to communicate with other planets anymore. It's a weird one. I do think that if we're really going to be honest about sheer power, it has to be the Tyranids though. Let's be honest, because um, the Necron technologically wise is scary, but the Nids, yeah, is a different power level. You stuck out your Minecraft house. What the fuck was that? I dived a bit extreme there. Yeah, here we go. Oh, this one's a bit laggy. What the fuck's going on? Pew pew pew.
It don't matter where we go, it don't matter where we stay tonight. 'Cause when I'm with
I almost played some squad tonight, to be fair.
you, everything will be
I was very tempted.
alright. It don't matter what we say, it don't matter how we make things right. 'Cause when I'm with you, yeah, I know everything will be alright. When I'm with you.
The fucking lag or whatever this is going to actually kill me off this game. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Pull up. I'm not gonna get this guy. Don't know how the fuck I did a teamwork medal, like, I've done fuck all. Interesting. Fucking pull up. Nope. This plane is so fucking unwieldy. Ah! Alright.
Deep once again, my heart is waking. It hurts when you lie all the time.
Okay.
Can't feel
There's only two of them left alive,
feels numb
and that's one of them.
start me again and again. Your love, the ghost of me, been waiting for the light. Won't say goodbye, won't close
Hopefully the next game's in a better server because this FPS has been pretty unplayable.
off me.
Let's go hunting.
Waiting for the light. Keep running high. I'll close my eyes and die. I'm waking one more time. The ghost of me, of me.
Oh, he's 12. He's like fucking 10 kilometers up.
It's the calm before the storm. Things aren't as they were before. You best start bracing. Did you think you could keep us out? Shut the gates, forget us now. Tides are changing. Can you hear the sound? Can't stop us now. We're not back in town, know what we're doing. Things are about to change, it's evolution. Voices shake the ground, you feel it moving. We the revolution. We're the ground beneath your feet. We're the whisper in the tree. Do you feel us watching? Hunger in our eyes, victories on our minds. It's our time to rise. Can you hear the sound? Can't stop us now. We're not back in town, know what we're doing. Things are about to change, it's evolution. Voices shake the ground, you feel it moving. We the revolution.
Let me finish again. Finish again.
We're not back in town, know what we're doing. Things are about to change, it's evolution. Voices shake the ground, you feel it moving. We're the revolution.
Hey, Mr. Bully, won't you just see right through me? On the dying days when I ask for forgiveness of myself. Hey, Mr. Bully, what you think when you push me out of my own head where everything made sense? Breathing in the lies that keep me open from the truth that keeps me holding on to your loss. What do you think of me when you destroy what is inside me? I'll get rid face again that stood alive for ages. Breathing in the lies that keep me open from the truth that keeps me holding on. Holding on to your lies. Where do you think you'll find me when you destroy what is inside
Oh well.
me? I'll carry on. I'll carry on. I'll carry on. I'll carry on. I'll carry
Okay. Why is the fucking... Oh no, my computer might be lagging a little. Let's close that.
I'm confused. Internet's gone loose, so time is through. Making of it yours, so I'ma sit and just lay in my bed with the thoughts in my head, getting stuck to the race with you. For a sleeping cruise, no. Stress is getting just a little bit lower. Mind's getting just a little bit closer. Find somebody in my life that can
Did they upgrade to? I knew they upgraded to a free propeller at some point.
That one's just me times two. That one's just me times two. That one's just me times two. I've been crazy, been thinking for too long now. Let it take on the world with two arms now. Got me singing right in the dark. No feelings I couldn't store it. Ooh, and I swear I proved all the ways out here. Got my drink and trying to care. What to do, yeah. I better fake it, and we can work together till we make it. Better take a life like a run out of patience. My mind's gone out way too far. Yeah, I'm not right, but I better fake it, and we can work together till we make it. Better take a life like a run out of patience. I know that times have been hard, but that's alright, cause we found them. Stress is getting just a little bit lower. Mine's getting just a little bit closer. Somebody in my life
Ooh.
Stitch it back together, better late than never. Steady motion. Can't control my fate, but I control all these emotions. I'm not broken. I'm not broken. Already cried my tears enough for an ocean. I've been in the cold rain on my parade. I'm still on my feet, stand tall like a mountain. I am undefeated, made for the game. Oh, 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 oh. I'm still on my feet, stand tall like a mountain. I am undefeated, made for the game. Gravity can take his arms around my legs and try to pull me. I'll still levitate. The greatest gift I got is being this holy. One thing I learned, pain hurts but don't control me. I'm not already cried my tears enough for an ocean. I've been in the cold rain on my parade. I'm still on my feet, stand tall like a mountain. I am undefeated, made for the game. Oh, 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 oh. I'm still on my feet, stand tall like a mountain. I am undefeated, made for the game.
Now thinking this quick thing stop. Air brake. Flaps landing. Ooh, touchdown at 500 mile an hour. Let's just hit the deck. Nope. Return to hang it. Right, I'm going to call it there for the night. But I will chat to you all next time.
I feel away by your side, in the middle of the night. I feel away.